Hey everybody, just setting up the stream, almost done. Alright, so we're good for that. Alright, so this is part 2 of the Traxxas TRX chassis live build. So last time we ended off with building the front axle, the front axle, the back axle, and the transmission. And today we're going to build the rest of the frame and see if we can put it all together. So let's just put these guys on the side here, I don't need them right now. And we're going to get into the actual chassis itself. So I'm just going to move a couple things over here. I believe this would be the chassis accessories bag. This would be it. Alright, let's get into this. Okay. Something to note about is they have loose screws in this box, or in this bag. So just be aware of that. I don't know if maybe one of my bags is ripped or something, but I have a bunch of screws there just thrown in kind of everywhere. See if I can pick them up. I like to keep all my screws in the bag here. Let's throw all the small pieces into here. Brace. Couple of fenders. And that will be it for that. Okay, so yeah, I guess they kind of threw that together. This one you can see there's also screws here as well. So just watch out when you're opening up the chassis bag because there's parts kind of flying all over the place. Actually, I guess these I can just leave out here. Okay. So first part, we need the chassis rails. Let's kind of organize here a little bit. Okay, so we have this part here, and we got, I guess, this part and this part here. Guess that fits into here. And this part's somewhere in here. Yep. I have to screw those together. So there's a bag of screws there as well. Use those up. Okay, and these are all the same or different. 3x10, 3x12, so there's two different sizes. Okay, the 12s go into this guy here. Alright, so that's one screw there. Oh, whoops, sorry. And those were a little bit too long. The fenders are supposed to go here, that's what I'm missing. Okay, so this fender, this would be this one. Oh, that's the back one. It's the front one, front, right, front. How does this go? That'll be this side, that'll be the other side. There you go. Something. How does this go here? This one. No, that was the right one. This way, okay. Oh, you know what? Whoops. Sorry. I had the wrong piece. No wonder things weren't lining up properly. Okay, so like this. And then this goes in here. Like that. So when you're putting it together, don't forget to check all the pieces. Make sure you got everything all proper. Okay. And that's the longer screw. Okay, now the 210s, and this is supposed to be on a lower view. So this piece here, you can see there you go. You can put it this way, or you can put it this way. But in the instruction manual, it says it has to be down towards the bottom side. So you want to make sure it's pointed basically like this on the frame itself. So it's like lower there. Okay. So here, pretty much we have what we're looking for here. Two pieces here. We got the fender, and then we have the chassis rail. So next we have one of the floor pans. I guess that would be probably this one. What I'm looking for. No, that's the other side. This one. Think like this. Nope. Did I have the other one? These are confusing. Yeah, okay, so it's like this, and that goes there, okay. So then this gets attached over here. And then right wire clip. So we're looking for a wire clip piece. And this is 12 screw, 3 by 12. Front right clip. Maybe this one. No, did I have front right wire clip? That's rear, sorry. Rear, front right. Alright, so these clips that you get for the wires, I guess there's a bunch of them here. Just FY, there's the different ones, so you just make sure when you're putting that wire clip on here, it says front right, FR. I don't know if you can see it on the display there. Front, here, maybe this will be better. Front right, there you go, FR. Right there. So it says FR on that little piece, so there's different ones, just make sure you got the right one. Okay, so we got 2 screws here, we got those. 2 screws here, we got those, and those are all tightened up. Then we got the screw here, which is fine. Front right, so it should look like this, which is what we have. Then they want us to add some pieces in here. I think this one, and one of these ones here. Possibly this one. Oh, looks like it's a different piece. Okay, so first we're going to add this piece, which is mounted here, I guess. This is a 3 by 10. And then this goes through the bottom there. It's the bottom screw here. Okay. So 3 by 10 lower gear cover. Okay, so it's there. And then this piece goes right into here. Yeah, I guess just so there's a little tab here down at the bottom, so make sure there's a tab here. Those 2 pieces just go together like that. So make sure they're nice and tight there. And I guess we're going to put some, I guess another 3 by 10 screw into here. So screwing that together. Okay, and then we have our rear right wire clip. So rear right, and that one fits over here. This way. Align the holes together, and that one is a 3x12. 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 Okay, just like here. And then we got the two back parts here. Okay, so we have this cross member, and then the back bumper attachment. And they go like that. Yeah. Okay. And then these ones for front. So in here, there's a little arrow on the inside of here, right? There's a little arrow there. So that goes to the front. So make sure you don't put it this way, you put it actually this way. Okay. And these are 3x10, 3x12. So the first two are 3x10. Now I need a fender in here. This time I remember. I've seen the fender. The fender. The fender goes here. Just see here. Fender goes to the inside here. Oh, it's at the top. Okay. And that fits like that. Okay, so maybe I'll get those two, which are the 3x10s. This is a 3x12. Okay, and then we have one more 3x10 for the cross member. Okay, so basically it sits like this. You can see here. So these two are 3x10, and then that one is 3x12. Just FYI. So this one here is longer because it has to go through the fender as well. Okay, and I guess there'll be a screw here somehow mount this part in as well, somewhere down the road. Okay, so I got those, and then two 3x10s for the rear bumper mount. So on this build, it's all manual. start to finish. On the next build, I believe I'm going to get myself a power screwdriver, and I'll use that. But for this one, I want to go full manual. Okay, so I got the two fenders. I got the front one, the back one. I got the transmission mount, two cross members, and the front bumper and the rear bumper mount. I think everything is looking good, how it's supposed to. I think that's it. Next page. Okay, now I gotta flip this over, and there's a chassis brace here for the battery. So that goes this way. Those are 3x8. Those must be those flat screws. Yep, it's the flat screws. Oh, finally going up to the bigger screwdriver. So those are my first screws to have the 2.5mm hex wrench on them. Okay. And then left chassis rail. Okay, so let's get the other rail on here. Goes there, there, there. And then this goes over here. Make sure everything's all aligned. Okay, this piece is in. There you go. Okay. So these screws. So again, we have two 3x10s and then 3x12 on the fenders. Okay. So maybe what I'll do is I'll put the 3x10s in first, just to lock this in so it doesn't move. Now, since it's all popping out here along the way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything where it's supposed to be. And then I'm just going to skip ahead here. I'm just going to put the 3x10 screws at the end here on the rail. I'll keep the rail on, I got it already mounted on the front and in the back. That way it keeps everything nice and tidy. So then I can work on my fenders and everything else. Just keeps the frame from splitting from the rest of the frame, so, or the rest of the chassis, I guess you could say. Feels like a very solid chassis on this truck, so it's going to be fun to test it out. Okay, now now I can do this fender here, right, which is a 3x12 front left, which is this one. See, now everything kind of goes together, so it's a lot easier to do. These are two 3x12 screws, right, 3x12 right there. See, now they have the rail screwed in front and back. It's easier because it's all together. You don't have to hold 50 things at once. It all kind of keeps itself together. Okay, now we need two more flat screws. My 2.5mm screwdriver for the battery brace. Okay. Okay, so I got that, and then I got the fender, and we got the two clips here. Left front and rear. Sorry, left front and rear front. Sorry, left front and rear left. Something like that. Okay, so that one will go here, and the other one will go in the back there. Rear, I just need the other fender here now. Okay. You know what? It might be easier if this is already attached. So I'm just going to mount the fender to this middle piece here first, because I'm not sure why they didn't do it that way. It's a lot easier because 3x10, 3x10, and the first two holes. I'll keep the fender in and then just mount it up. 3x10. So these guys are 3x10 on the front. Come on. Okay, so let's do the rear one first, because then I'll touch the fender there. Rear, front, left. That'll be the front. This is the rear one. Rear, and the rear clip attachment is 3x12. We need another 3x12. So that's there. Okay, and then the front one, which I believe is also 3 by 12. Okay. Okay, so we got 2 screws up front, those are done. We got the 2 fender screws, those are done. Those 2. I got the battery tray, that's mounted. Then we have 2 screws here, 3 by 10 on the first one, and 3 by 10 on the second one. So I just need to put that one in here, just for the brace here. Second one there. This one I need to put in. Okay, so that's in. The clips are in. That's done. Okay, so now they're talking about the rock lights and the fender. So let's do the fender first. Fender. That mounts there. I guess it just sits on top here. This just sends, yeah, there you go. So it has to be like this. And then we got a couple screws here. These are, okay, so I can screw those 2 together. It'll be easier if there's no fender here. These are the 3 by 10s. And I got a 3 by 12, which is the longer one for the fender. Okay, so unscrew there, unscrew there. Okay, cool. Wow, that looks cool. This truck's gonna be big. Put the tires on here, and this thing's gonna be huge. Oops. That's gonna be a pretty good sized truck there. Look at that. That's just a frame right there. Is that awesome or what? It's pretty solid. It feels pretty rigid. Nice. Alright, so we are done assembly. Front, you got all that. Oh, and the rock lights. Rock light covers. I just add those in here. Eventually I'm going to get an LED kit for these, but for the time being we're just going to add the covers. These ones I think are the smaller one. Nope. Still 2.5. So the 2.5 millimeter screwdriver is outside the main one you're using in here. Like I say, I think that was the first time I ran into the 2.5, but this one looks fine. So Okay. Not that one. And these screws are little small ones. You just add into there. Oops. And there she goes. I have to pick that one up. Try to be a little more forward thinking and start putting a little plastics on there, but then you move something and it falls on the ground. There it is. And one more screw for this one. Alright. Cool, okay, so looks good. I guess you need to attach some more screws on here, keep those fenders in. I'm just going to take a quick 2-minute break here. Just got to crack open the window here, it's still getting warm in here. And I will be right back. Alright, and we are back. Okay. So I think we're done. All the clips. Got these screws here at the bottom. Those two are there. Rock lights. These screws back here. I got the same amount of screws on each side. This one. These ones. Yep, that's done. Okay, so let's go to the next step. Alright, now we're starting to mount all the good stuff. Transmission. This is where the good stuff comes in. Start mounting all the goodies. Okay, so the front of the truck is here. And transmission goes here. Okay. Got two 3x10mm screws. Wait a minute. Did I miss one part here? Oh, I guess I can still probably fix that. Let's see here. Because this cable is supposed to go underneath here, so I have to fix this cable so it goes underneath this part. There you go. Screw that screw down, and then another one on the other side. The screw doesn't want to go in there. Oh, it needs to be shifted a little bit. There you go, now it's going in. Okay, so got the transmission place wire into the servo before installing screws, okay, and then we got the motor. Alright, now we got the motor mount. Let's crack over the motor. Knife. The big motor, Titan, 21 turn, look at that. Big beast. Titan 21 turn. Zoom into it on the camera. 21 turn. Got the motor there. 550 equivalent reverse rotation. Alright, so there's a little motor mount, I guess, in here. And I got some screws. Oh, screws are flying. They even give you a tiny little zip tie in the bag. Okay, so the motor mounted on here. So they say 3, it's like this. We're mounting on C at the top. It's 1, 2, 3, so it'd be like this. Or are we mounting this way? C, C, C. C, and third one from the bottom, so it'd be like this. That would make the motor upside down. I guess that's what they say, so let's do it. Okay, and these are 3 by 8. This is third position and then third position. Top and bottom. Oh, that's the bigger one. Okay, 3x8 as shown in here, and then we need the spur gear, or the pinion gear, sorry. And it goes, mounts this way, and there's a little hex in here, 3x4 hex. Okay, then once you get those screws in here, that's mounted. That gets pushed into here. And that gets mounted there. How does this screw down? Oh, there's a motor mount plate. So I actually aligned it pretty well. So let's just tighten this up. Just surprised. That this thing is turned this way. I figure it would be at the top. Well, let me just look at a picture how this is built. Because I believe the motor wire is supposed to be pointing up. I would think. Yeah. So there's something fishy here. I need to flip these wires because these wires are supposed to go to the top. To flip these screws around. Based on the picture here, it looks silly. It just doesn't make sense. Let's rotate this. We're just rotating it like this. Okay. Now if we put this into here, there you go, that's much better. Because the Titan is supposed to be on top, or see that? Oh, one sec. So the Titan on the motor should be on top, and then there's a cover for this motor, which is right there. this encompasses the whole thing. And then we got some big screws here. 3x8s. 3x8s. Probably these guys. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we got the motor in. And we got the tranny in, so that's good. Tighten gear mesh. Put that down. I think we're good for that. Now we have the receiver tray, which I guess sits on the other side. Servo. I guess, yeah, it would be this side. Receiver tray. Three by six. 3x6. 3x6. Oh, these are 3x8, so these are even smaller. 3x6. These are the smaller screws. Yep. 3x6. Surprised that they're using such a small screw on here. Okay, so that's done. And then we have the receiver. We can put in there, and we got the servo. So let's jump to the servo. Let's gonna skip the receiver for now. The big servo is be the steering servo. 4 big screws that mounts over here. And the wire goes to the right. Okay, so these are 4 flat screws. I guess we need the big ones, 3x10. These look. These ones it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mount this in there. I can feel the chassis starting to get a lot heavier now. So it's interesting. Okay. Servo is mounted. Servo is mounted, and then servo goes around here. Speed controller. Alright, now we're getting into the fun stuff. I guess we can, might as well put in the receiver. Add a little bit of tape here. And the receiver is sticking on this side, which is closer to this side. Okay, so oh wait. This way. TQ is to the inside. So TQ is this way. Okay, good. Now we got it. Okay. Okay, so that's done. Receiver's mounted. Servo mounted. Wires there. Speed controller's next, which is right beside the servo, which is on this side. Pretty hefty speed controller. This guy, I guess, just sits on top of this. I guess it'd be this way. This one sits, oh sorry, actually sits here. I'm sure does it sit? Wires to the inside, okay. So it sits like this. Oh, very smart. Okay, and these are two 3x10 screws. Okay, wait a minute. There's a wire here that needs to go underneath. Kind of always jumping to mount everything and forget to check the wiring. Okay, like that. There you go. Alright, so we gotta eat that ESC, 2 wires, place the wire and hook up the motor wires. Alright, so I got 2 motor wires here. Red to red, black to black. Okay. Okay, receiver box, servo wires, 2 wires here, wire underneath, hook up the ESC bullet plugs for the motor. I think that's everything else on this page. We got the 2 little servos. Okay, and those ones are mounted on the other side. Oh no, they have a little brace. There's one more piece here, so I'm gonna brace. Front servo. Push the wires through. Okay. Okay, and then these are 3x8 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 screws on here. Make sure the wires go underneath. And they come right back, so let's just do that first. Okay, that one's that one, that one's that way. Wires go through, which is going to be this way. Okay, so now I just have to put the screws on here. So this is mounting the actual servos, the mini servos. screwing those pieces together. Okay, so that's done. And then this goes right beside the root wires from the ESC and servo, shift servo through the top loop of the T-loop servo mount before installing the mount on chassis. Okay, so we have to mount these guys here. These guys. Through this hole here. So this, I guess, has to go through here. Does it go down or up? How does this go? Oh, these wires don't actually go through all the way here. They just go to this part here. Okay. So these wires go actually over here. They're just hanging out here like this. Okay, that's good. So that means that these two go here. So that means those other wires have to go through here. Okay, and then based on this, this wire goes... Oh, this needs to go underneath this transmission, or the speed controller, and around. Around here and through the loop. And this one, same thing, goes around here, through the loop, and this goes through here. Okay, and then this gets mounted this goes 2 screws, gets mounted here. Okay. Oh, and then this front servo wire goes underneath them, under here. Keeps that wire nicely tucked in. And same goes for these wires. All of these wires go underneath here. Alright, see what we can do here. So that this servo wire has to go here. Let's just put it under there. It's good like that. And then there's 2 screws that mount this to the bottom, 3x8. Okay, got a tricky part to get all the wires figured out, but I think I got it down to here. Okay, so 4 servo screws, that's done. Wires go through the loop, goes underneath. Make sure when you're putting the wires through, they go under the first loop, which is like a half loop kind of thing, not the second one. Then you guide all your wires, which I did through here, goes underneath, goes around, through here, go back to this loop. Then we need a little piece of foam in here. Okay, make sure you pull the little sticker part off the foam. Pulled off, and then the antenna goes through a little wire, which is on the other side to here. Okay, so the antenna just goes on this side, I guess. Come on. And that goes underneath, on top, and then there's like a little antenna piece that goes here. now I can route all these guys here. So where the needle nose we're going to help out. That's one. Let's do the other small one here too, because that's a tiny one. There's so many wires here. Three. I got two more to go. Two more to go. Come on. Tricky business trying to route these wires through. Okay, and one more, which might be the trickiest of them all because there's not much room to get this thing through. Alright, so antenna's in. You can zip tie these wires here. Okay, so that goes there. Let's do that. So these wires here are zipped up. Let's use the cutters. Cut that off. Okay, so now I have all these wires here. Now the question is, what channel is what? Trying to figure out what everything's what. I think for this I might have to test these out. So I'm going to need the receiver and I'm going to need my battery. Okay, so my front one is this one, This one, I think it's this one. This one, nope, not this one. It will be this one, I believe. So speed control is this one, this one, this one, black one, and this one. So electronic speed control is channel 2. Okay. This one here is the white one from somewhere there. I got two long ones. This other long one goes here. I guess these must be the two other servos. Let's try this one, channel 1. That's the turning one. Okay, that's good. Okay, so this one is channel 1. Channel 2. Shift lock, channel 3. Shift servo is channel 1. Actually, channel 1 there. So this is channel 3. Yeah, look at that. Already got something working here. You can see that's a shift servo. Okay, correct. And then you have these two, so I'm just going to try these both and see which one's what. Oh, this one was front first, front lock, and channel 5 is rear lock. So if I do channel 5, they're both unlocked, front locked, rear locked. And the motor doesn't seem to be moving, but I think that's something else. Okay, let's just disconnect this. Okay, so now I turn this off. Now let's see if we figure out a way to route these wires in here. So let's just guide all of these in here. Okay, that's that one. That one. And this would be the front one. Okay, I think we have everything in here as it's supposed to be. Now just this part here with all the wires. Servo wires here, here, and this would be the antenna wire. Okay, so then there's a seal that goes on top of here. Okay. And a cover for this. Okay, so that goes in here. 2 parts to the receiver box, so make sure you get the right one. Okay, apply a small piece of grease. Apply light coating of grease. So here's our silicone grease. Okay, for the time being, I'm not gonna put this on because I might still do some changes on my servos or whatnot. So for now, I'm just gonna leave this off. I'm not gonna be running this in water for any time soon. So I'm gonna leave the grease off for now. But I am gonna screw these together. Let's mount that in there. Just screws together, and these are those screws. These are 3x8. Like I said, I'm gonna probably take the receiver box open still and just take a look at some changes and things. But for now, where did I put my screws? That one and that one. 3x8. No, it's already on there. Okay, and then this goes over here. So just make sure you line up your wires properly amongst all the there's little guides here. Make sure those are all good. And this is these guys here. Okay, and then I have my antenna here. Okay, and there's a little piece you need to screw into the antenna post bracket. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, there's this key. It's a GS screw. that's on here when you put the receiver in. This screw does not have any Loctite on it, right? It's a very small screw. There's no Loctite on it. The one that goes on the motor on the spur gear does have one on it, so make sure the one with the Loctite goes to the motor itself. Okay, antennas in. All right. Okay, covered that. Antennas in. Screw all the wires. Caution pinch point. Screws, plastic grommet. Like I said, I didn't put the grease on here. I will later, but for now I'm just gonna leave it as is. Battery tray. Let's get the battery tray in here. And this I think mounts. The tray does that mount. This way, looks like. So we have another piece of plastic here for this, which I believe is this part here. Okay, so this part, the screw that goes through, this I guess doesn't really matter which side it is. The battery tie down, or hold down. Okay, and there's a pivot screw, which goes on this side. Okay. And then there's two screws, 3x10. Okay, then this goes into the chassis. And the question is, how do you get this into here? That was my question. How do you get this into there once you have the chassis already screwed down? I think you need to take off these fender wire clips. one of them. See if it'll fit through that. Aha! There you go. Okay, so move all these wires out of the way. Just make sure this is not getting pinched here. I guess this is kind of a brace for the chassis as well. Right. There's two screws here, this one and this one, that go into these spots. My question is, does that get buttoned up all the way, or how does that work? Yeah, that gets buttoned up all the way. So you just have to make sure that these servo wires are flat. Are these wires getting pinched or not really? Oh, I think there's actually room there. It looks like there's a bit of room there. Let's see here. Okay, looks like this should be fine. Okay. Boom, that goes on there. I guess it also braces the chassis front to back for flex. Like it's solid. With this thing being in there, it's pretty solid. And then here's 3x12 screws. So I was wondering when these fender ones would come in, but I guess they come with the battery tray. on this side, we just got to put in this wire piece. So when you're putting in the battery tray, make sure you pull out the rear battery, rear wire holder. Because otherwise it's pretty tricky to get that in there. Okay. Now the other part of the fender here. It's a pretty, feels like a very solid rig. Thinking that maybe the battery tray in the back is not needed, but you know what? That adds very big rigidity front to back. Like this thing is like, it's very hard to bend it. Like it's very hard. It's like one big piece of metal or something. Whew. Okay, so battery tray mounted, 2 screws. That's there. Turn on receiver. Turn on model. Turn on this. Set your 0. Zero out the steering servo. So, turn this on. Let's get the battery on here. Plug in the battery, turn on the model, quick start. Okay. Zero out your steering. Oh, that's pretty much zeroed out. Okay. And then now I can put on my steering horn. Okay. And my steering horn was somewhere here. No, let's go 90 degrees. Steering horn. No, steering horn will face straight ahead. Okay, straight ahead. Okay, done. Dun dun dun. Alright, cool. Now we're getting into shocks. So this thing so far, solid. Like, it's just a solid feeling rig. Now we're into shocks. Nice. Nice little shocks. So I'm going to try running stock shock oil for now, and later on I might change it. I just want to run this rig stock as it's supposed to be from factory, and then we'll see how it goes. Kind of wonky can. Okay, so let's just cut this. Maybe a little bit more. It's just a cap for it. Okay, so shocks. Let's see what we do here. Shocks. Sticker shock. Unscrew the cap. Okay. Pull your shock all the way down. And fill shock oil. Okay. Fill the shock oil. Slowly move piston up and down to remove excess air. Gonna move it up and down a few times. Okay. Slowly move piston to remove any excess air. Fill to about 6.5 millimeters from the top, and then put the cap on. Oh, this one looks a little bit more than that. So most likely it's going to bleed out. That's why take a paper towel. And I might have to pull some of this out. This is kind of a messy part. And let's screw this in. So it's going to bleed on the outside. Okay. Okay, so you can see here, I can't push it to the top. Too much oil. Right, so I can go this way. I push it up to here. Too much oil, right? So I got to pull some out. Right, so if I do this, should, there you go. Now let's try. Okay. Now this goes right to the top. The oil should be higher than the okay, so like this is fine. Shaft should be fully compressed when cap is installed. Okay. See, it's bleeding out. Let's close it up. Oh, shaft went down. I have to move it up again. It's kind of tricky a little bit, but we'll figure it out. It's been a while since I put shocks together. This one's being a pain in the butt. So we have it pushed down all the way. Now the question is with this, maybe it's pushing it down, maybe that's why. If I do push this down all the way, just want to see if this will close if this is down all the way. That's better. Okay. Yeah, putting oil in is a greasy job. Very oily. Not one of my favorites, but it's something you gotta do. Okay, let's try the next one. 1 second here. Greasy fingers. So these ones. Okay, so with the cap installed, it does not go all the way to the top, so that makes sense why I couldn't. I don't know why they would make it like that, but it will not go up to the top. I can see it's already bleeding out. That's good. Perfect. Unscrew these. Oops. Got a bit too trigger happy on that one. Too fast. So just moving the shock shaft up and down a few times just to get the air out. Then hold the bottom of the shock to the bottom of your desk and just screw the cap on. Like I said, not my favorite job in the build because it is pretty greasy. Oh, and one of them goes flying. Alright, let's get the cap on here. Okay, so let's see which ones of these are performing the best. Hmm. This one might be a little bit too full. There you go. You might have to do it a few times before you get to the proper setup. This one might be a little bit too much as well. I think this should be fine. Now there was a cap here that came with this piece. Here's the cap for the oil. Okay, we're gonna put that over there. Now my hands are really greasy from this oil, so I'm just gonna see if we can clean this up. Easiest way to get grease off these things. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna grab some Windex. Alright, we got the Windex. Okay, so depending on how you build your shocks, if they're not as greasy, you might not need to do this, but I prefer to have my shocks as clean as possible when I get started. And I'm a Windex guy, so I like to clean off my shocks with Windex just to make them less greasy when I go on the truck. Windex cuts grease, so it's good for the shocks because I'll clean them off. Now the shocks are aluminum and the plastic on there is fine for Windex. Like I say, we're just wiping it down. Alright, so I think we're done with those. Okay, so I got my shocks. Now let's get the springs on there. Let's get the bottom retainers on. And I believe these springs are all the same, so it doesn't really matter. And then these just screw on. Oh, from the bottom, from the top, I guess from the bottom first. So these you gotta screw on first. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so they didn't mention that you need these caps on first. Okay. I don't want to unscrew the shock anymore. Crap, so you're gonna have to unscrew these. I don't know why they didn't tell you. I should have told you to put those on first. Because now I gotta unscrew the shocks again. Can I fit them over? Nope, I won't do it. Unfortunately, I gotta unscrew the shock again, which kind of sucks, but oh well. Gotta do what you gotta do. Spring and retainer. Wow, looks good. Look at that. Shock in action. Okay, so gotta do that for all the other ones then. Unscrew the caps. So one note, when you're putting the shocks together, make sure you put on the upper, I don't even know what to call it, collar, the locking collar. Make sure you put the locking collar on first before you start doing any of the oil, because it won't go on after. Spring and bottom retainer. Boom. Okay, next one. This tool actually works very well for this. To unscrew the top cap of the shock. Spring, retainer, boom. Okay, so all these shocks, some of them are at 5 millimeters, some of them at 10 millimeter, or 9 millimeter, or one of them at 9 millimeter. So probably about there. And this one's about 9 millimeter, probably about there. Okay, that's done. The shocks are done. Definitely a kind of dirty job with all the shock oil, but that's done and over with. Okay, next step. Oh, we have to turn off the radio. So we got that done, that done. That's on there. Shock oil is done. These are mounted. All right, now we're going to mount the shocks to the, I guess it would be the front bars here. Shock gets mounted through that. Right front, left front. Now I know one of them was longer. Left front shock, left front shock. Left front, I guess it doesn't matter because I can also adjust it. But these were done with these really long screws. And then linkages. Where's my linkages? 27. That's a 27. That's a 27. 27. That's a 20. No, that's a 23. 23. 23. Oh, this one's a really long one. These are all short. This one's a super long one. That's too long. That's like a 30. So we need 3 by 27. 23. That one. Okay, so these are the long ones. It's the long shock. Oh, that would be this one. That's a short one. So the long one. That makes sense because it has to go through that. And these are, which bars go into here? These are 2 lower bars. Okay. Those bars go through here. Okay. And then on the other side, same thing. On the longer ones. Okay. Those are all the back ones. These are the front ones. Front assembly, and we have 2. Okay, so we have those 2. Got the shocks. Got the steering one, and then there's one more, which is this one. Panhard bar. Which goes on here. Guess like this. That one is by 15. Be one of the smaller ones, 15. Okay, so I think I got those done. Oh, and then there's one more here. Front pan bar, this one. Shorter suspension link. There's one more here, which is, I guess, this one. Front upper link. Front upper link. So that would be this one. Steering link. Yeah, it's the steering link. Oh, steering is a shorter one. Yeah, that's correct. So that one is longer. So the front, yeah, the front upper link is that one is the longer one. This is longer. So it's this one. And that gets mounted this way. And then 3x15. A lot of screws here on this front suspension. Alright, so now this goes to the chassis. This one that gets mounted there. Flip this upside down. This goes somehow this way. Get those ones in first. These are 3 by, no, sorry, the back ones are 3x15. Just notice there's a screw here I forgot while building it. Okay. This one. Shucks go here. This one will go over here. Okay, on this one, this is a 3x15. On the front, it's the bottom or top? Okay. Okay. This guy here must go over here. That's a screw that goes on this side. Three by 23 upper link. 3x23 goes on this one. How does that work? Oh, right here. Seems a little bit long here. 3 by 15. So in here, 3 by 15, 3 by 23. These are the 23 screws. Oh no, these are longer. Maybe this one. Yep, that's the long one. This is too long. This would be this one. 15. Yep, that would be it. Okay. That one, and shocks. And this one is going into here is a 3 by 15, which is a steering one right here. Okay. And then what are the shocks doing? I think the shocks are the bigger ones. Three by 23, and they're from the top. This one's too long. This one, 3 by 23, and that's right there. Okay. Oh, that makes it a lot easier if you do it this way. 3 by 23. Boom. So there's the front suspension. See how that works. Wow, that's pretty sweet. Look at that. Very nice. So I just have to find out what screw goes into there. Let's backtrack a little bit. That was when I was putting in the transmission. 3x10. 3x10, that'd be that one. Three by 6. Yep. 3x10. Okay. So we got the front axles mounted. Okay. Hopefully the rear is going to be a little bit easier because this is the rear part here. No steering, no pan bar, just 4 links. I guess these are all the same or different. That's a long one. That's a long one. That's a long one. Oh, these are front, sorry. Flip the page on me. Here we go. And these are all the same. Rear lower, rear upper. Okay, that's a straight one. These are both okay. So the lower are the straight ones, upper are the curved ones. Okay, let's do the lower ones first. So lower ones go in and go out. This is where that big long screw goes. Okay. And then these top ones, I guess they're just they're not really angled, so it doesn't really matter which way. Go here, and then 3x27, which is the longer ones with the shocks. Okay. And boom, just gets mounted to the car. Ah, I like it. Guess we'll do it upside down again. Okay, so lower and upper. Okay, so we got 2 to go here and 2 to go here. These are done. 315. 315 at the top. 2 315s. The shorter ones. Okay. Let's get those 2 in. And the other ones are 3 by 23. These ones are long ones by 25. Which are the shock ones? No, the 25s are here. Okay, so these ones go here. These ones go through here. Now I see why these were left open. So wondering why there was no screws here on the fenders. Well, that's where the links mount. Okay, so turn this on the side. Oh, wait a minute. Somehow mounting this backwards. Whoops. Yeah, I gotta unscrew these. How did I do that? This is supposed to be the other way around. Let's just unscrew this one and be one screw. This is supposed to go this way. There you go. It's a lot better. Okay. Lastly would be the shocks. The shocks are just mounted sideways, and the shocks are mounted on, looks like third from the back. Wow. Okay, so rear suspension. Now we have these guys here. These wires for the shifters. Hmm. Okay, so this has to go somehow through here and up there. something wrong in the previous part here. The shock ones go here. Oh. No, that's... Yes. Those ones go here, these ones go over there. That's why. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, we're gonna have to undo this one more time. Let's do it one at a time, that way. Be easier. That link has to go there, this one's to go here. Okay, well, looks like I have to unscrew them all again. Totally put these things in backwards. I think I had it the right way when I had the differential upside down, but then I messed it up. Okay, so these ones go here, and these ones go here. Yeah, that's more like it. There you go. 3 tries, and it's done. Just get this guy in here. Okay, now it's good. So now I'm just trying these cables here. Why do they seem too long? Screw the cap on until all threads are hidden. All threads are hidden. Okay, so Okay, so this goes like this. Okay, and then this one, same here, it goes like this. Except why does this not want to shift backwards? This seems too long. Why does this seem too long? Well, let's screw this one on and see. Okay, this one, yeah, that's really odd because it's just something out here. Still seems a little bit. Let's try this. Okay, so, whoops. Yeah, there's something here because why does not I want to go back? Front. Did I mess these up? So, front locked. Something is stuck there. Mm, 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 mm. Um, yeah, in order to turn it, I have to unscrew these again. Unfortunately, too many times already, but what can you do? Maybe that will help. Oh, it seems like it's stuck on here somehow. Hmm. Why is this getting stuck? It doesn't want to move back or forward. Why? There you go. I think now it's good. So we already had our first repair. Trying to figure out why the differentials is getting stuck. Or differential locks, I guess. Okay, so if you put this back here, okay. Why does this get so hung out? Is this too tight? Come on, go back there. Hmm. Like this is way extended. I don't know why. So unless maybe it's supposed to be the other round, because right now it's unlocked, right? Or now it's unlocked. Right now it's locked. No, right now it's unlocked. No, it's not working. It's not working. Okay, let's see if I can plug in the drive line first, and we'll see, because I might have to turn on the motor there. Why wouldn't that work? Hmm. There we go. Put the battery in the tray. Lock the battery in the tray and it's locked. Something wrong with his rear differential. What could be with the wire? It's like the wire is getting stuck or something. Okay, both the servos are closer. This is the rear servo, which is like this. And that one's mounted that way, so this is correct. Seems to me like this is a bit too far. Pull it out, it would need to be over here. Yeah, we're pulling the cable all the way back here. This servo seems like it's off. Let's see if we can adjust this. See if this will work. No, it's still bending this wire. Okay, I'll have to figure that out later on. I'm not sure why that's getting so hung up there. Let's just put this back together for now. Some kind of error. These are all tightened out. Okay, so I guess we can put these nuts on here. Don't lose them. Okay, so that's the next part. Drive shafts, which are here. I guess I can unplug this battery. Okay, so these guys. Okay, we got the ball. Got these rollers. And then these here. I guess it doesn't really matter which one they are. And then the pins go through. And then there's a collar here. Oops. Just dropped it. Okay. So this. Oh, okay. And then these get into here. These are screwed in with these little screws. Okay, so you gotta build a bunch of these. So we're just building the drive line now. One more. This one. Okay. Okay, so the short shaft. Rear is a long one, a short one. Front one is two short ones. So these are both the same. Short and short. These are long and short. Boom. Alright, let's mount these on there. So again, the rear one is long and short, front one short and short, which should be basically fits like that. Okay. Now we have the driveline all mounted up. Okay, so just check here. What time is it? 6:40. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take a break for a little bit, maybe eat some dinner, and then I will come back. Let's go have to eat something, and then I'll double check, see if I can figure out the differential. Actually, you know what? I might leave that. Let me mount everything else up, and then I can play with that after, because there's something there that's not working properly. So, okay, so I'm gonna end the stream here right now, and I will be back. So it'll be a third session of finishing up the chassis on this Traxxas TRX-4 chassis kit. We'll go from there. So. there you go, guys. We'll end it there, and we will be back. I'll let you guys know when I'm back again for the third session. All right, talk to you soon.